right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow decoders around the world. My name is Logan, Decode Your Reality. We're going to be talking some astrology, some sidereal versus tropical. What a huge topic on the world stage. This has been like, I don't even like saying debate, because I don't really believe in such a thing. It's just going to come down to a matter of opinion and what system you want to use. And the reason why I'm making this video, honestly, was just a few hours ago, I was out at the beach and I was looking up at the stars. I went out there around 8 o'clock and I was looking up at the stars and I saw the moon, and I was looking at the moon because the moon's like half, and I'm wondering how it gets that way. But then I noticed where it was in the sky. Here's the actual image. I was able to, now this is interesting because I have two cell phones because I live in Mexico and I got my US phone. So I have my US phone in my bag and then I have my Mexican cell phone. So I was able to go to the Stellarium app, open it up, point it at the moon, and it showed me where the moon was, which clearly this is Leo. And here it is blown up on the map. It's in Leo. Okay. And I was able to take the image of the sky. I was able to put it in night mode, and you can clearly make out the body of Leo there. These stars, the body of Leo right here, right? And there it is hugging the moon, right? So I knew this was Leo. I was like, oh, it's in Leo. And of course, yeah, there it was in the app. So I wanted to take a photograph with a real snapshot of around 8:43 p.m. here in just south of Cancun in Mexico on June 12th. Because I want to, if you know who I am and how I roll, I'm about precision. I'm trying to get this exactly. So when I provide a reading for somebody, I'm trying to give you the best experience possible by the best definitions of your reality. And as a fan of astrology, I like to look to both. But doing this over the course of years, as most of you should know, I believe this is the more accurate system. Matter of fact, I think it's not even close. Okay. Now to me, this is solidification. To put this to rest, using your eyes now, not even an application, using your eyes of where the moon placement is. So if I just go to a website here, and where's my website? Here it is. If I go to the website stellarium-web.org and I plug in the parameters, June 12th, 2024, we back it up to 8:43. There's the moon right there. And is the moon anywhere near Virgo? Because if you go to tropical, if you go to the current planetary positions, if you type in current astrological chart and you open up, this is the biggest one, astro.com. I use this one too. And you look at the current planet positions, what they're going to tell you, the moon's 11 degrees in Virgo. And here's the chart. Now, this is what the chart most people use. They don't even know what this means. Why are these houses all funky? And this is called the Placidus chart. And the reference is about 300-400 years old. The whole signs is about 2,000 years old from the reference point that I've got. So when you open up this astro chart here, you got to change this. To me, this is not the accurate system. And you can see that the moon, they're placing it in Virgo. And when you go to Stellarium, which is the true map of the stars, do you see that moon anywhere near Virgo? It's not even close to being in Virgo. So when somebody's saying that the moon is in Virgo and they're giving you the references and what it means to me, the moon in Virgo, it doesn't have anything to do with the moon in Leo. But of course, all the zodiac signs are playing their role on the planet. And, we do have the south node of the moon here in Virgo. We have Black Moon Lilith if you're somebody who practitioners around that in Virgo. So this whole zodiac wheel is giving its influence upon the center point in the dish, which is Earth. But let's be really finicky here, right? Sidereal versus tropical. The moon in the true map of the stars is in Leo. It's in Leo, folks. It's not anywhere near Virgo. What this map will show you. Okay. And on top of that, the 12 zodiac signs are not even 30 degrees apart. There's some are bigger, some are smaller. So this is not even accurate, both sidereal and tropical. We're going to have some variances in there. So I wanted to show this to you so I can show you the precision of this, so we can get this right. If you're somebody who's a practitioner of astrology and you're giving out suggestions, well, wouldn't you want to be giving out suggestions of the actual placements of where these celestials are at? Well, that's what I'm all about. Now, when you're talking about the sun and sidereal and tropical, it's going to vary, right? So here's the definition according to ChatGPT. I wanted to, so you can read this with me, right? Sidereal versus tropical. Okay, sidereal is a system that bases its calculations on the actual positions of the stars, the fixed positions. Okay, but if you go down to tropical, tropical is a system that uses its calculations on the seasons. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I want to jump into next, is the seasons. Okay, because we gotta talk about this, and I want to tell you right now the current map. Okay, according to because the tropical's based on the seasons, so let's talk about the seasons. The seasons are based in 4: spring, summer, fall, and winter. So over here, number 1 position, the equinox, springtime in the northern hemisphere, fall in the southern. The sun, you would say the sun's in Aries, but it is not in Aries. Here is the actual map of this past March 21st, 2024, and the sun was around 7 or 8 degrees in the fish, Pisces. If you put it over here, here's the tropical map, the sun being 1 degree Aries. Now, let's confirm that. Let's compare the map of the stars. I'm going to go back to March and I'm going to go to the 21st. Okay? And now I'm going to plug in, I'm going to type in sun or sol. Right? And there's the sun. And where's the sun? In Pisces. Do you see it anywhere? In Aries is right here. The sun is nowhere near Aries. Now, because the sun is so vast and it is so bright and it's giving its light, it will be influencing Aries to a certain degree. But if you want to get finicky, if you want to get really detailed, if you want to get precise like I am, the sun in the spring equinox is in the sign of Pisces. Now, maybe thousands of years ago, the sun was in Aries. Maybe the sun was here back in the beginning of the Piscean age. Maybe during the age of Aries, the sun and the spring equinox was in the sign of Aries. But because of the precession of the equinoxes, and what is the precession of the equinox? That's what it's based on, right? If you define that, the precession of the equinoxes is a phenomenon where the Earth's axis, the Earth's axis. The Earth's shift, it goes westward along the ecliptic being that imaginary line that the 12 zodiac signs follow. And it's relative to the fixed stars. And this is approximately the great year, 26,000 years. But because of the slippage, and this is where you get into leap years and why the calendars have been changed and all this, I'm not going to get into the details. But that's the difference between tropical and a sidereal. Tropical is based on the seasons. Now, let's talk about the seasons. Let's talk about the seasons and how they work. And this is the current lineup of the seasons when you're referencing astrology and you're doing readings for people and you're reading your own charts, etc., etc. Because this may change a lot of things for you, right? And you got to make the determination on which one you resonate with more. And, again, after doing countless readings, sidereal to me, and I'm not just being biased, I'm giving you honest feedback. Sidereal is more accurate than tropical. Okay? Not even close, actually. So, right here is the spring equinox in Pisces. And it moves through the springtime, right? 13 weeks. And then it gets to summertime. And then it comes here. And you get into the solstice, the summer solstice. And now you're getting into around the mid-June mark. And now you're Gemini. Gemini's the marker for the summer solstice. And it's, the Gemini's ruled by Mercury. We have Sirius here at 20 degrees. This is a big deal. The markers between Sirius and the sun. Let me digress and talk about the spring equinox. Piscean energy, fish and water. You have Poseidon. And I feel Poseidon represents Piscean energy way more than it does Zeus. Zeus is the brother of Poseidon, but Zeus is got the rulership of Sagittarius up here. But because of the co-rulership there, this is the brother aspect here. But Poseidon definitely represents, when you study Neptune, Poseidon, and you realize what it's all about, it's what it means to be a human being. It represents addictions. But Poseidon really is the ruler of the seas and the fish, the Piscean fish. They live in the sea. So Poseidon to me represents Pisces way more than Zeus does. Okay, so we have this area here. We have Gemini, the starting of the summer solstice. Then we come down to number 3. Now we come down to the fall and equinox and the spring equinox in the southern hemisphere. And now the sun goes into Virgo. Okay, it moves out of Leo into Virgo. And Virgo is now the marker for the fall and spring equinoxes. And this is about September 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And Virgo's ruled by Mercury. So we have the messenger here. And then finally, quadrant 4, we now have the starting of the winter solstice around December 22nd. The sun is in Sagittarius. So those of you that celebrate Christmas, December 25th, the sun is in Sagittarius. Maybe it was in Capricorn back in the day, but it is in Sagittarius. Okay? And then it moves through the 13 weeks of the winter time, where it's contraction in the northern hemispheres. Aquarius, Capricorn, this is all cold contraction. During the southern hemisphere, it's your expansion. And then you finally go back to the Piscean era of the spring equinox. So that's what it looks like. And here is, again, the cluster. This was the cluster of energy during the spring equinox in the sidereal platform. We had a lot of energy in Pisces. We had the sun. We had Rahu here. We had Chiron. We had Mercury. And we have Venus all clumped together. And there's a lot of spirituality. There was a lot of deliverance of changing the way you think about spirituality, et cetera, et cetera. Jupiter being in Aries, taking charge of that, the drive of the energy of Mars. I don't want to get too far ahead and give readings of this kind of stuff. I want to keep it simple here and tell all of you, like this is how it works. So when you look at the map of the stars, ladies and gentlemen, the sun does have a big presence, obviously. The sun, as it goes around the ecliptic, going through these seasons, 13 weeks per season. Okay, the 4 seasons. This is a tropical-based equinox solstice position. Sol is another word for the sun. That is the number 13. You bring in chemistry. You have aluminium. This means a luminary body. That's what the sun is. And 13 is the makeup of 373. So this is where I kind of just want to finish this here. What is the 373 in mathematics? The 74th prime number. And what's 74? Well, when you say I am God of the periodic table, it ends up adding up to the number 74. And when you take the 5 elements that make up our RNA and DNA, when you add them up, you get the number 74. And this 74 is tied to light, right? We're light being slowed down into physical matter. So the sun has a big presence in all of this, sidereal or tropical. And it has this W right here. And this is a very interesting marker because this is what the sun and the pattern of the sun makes, based upon the Walter Russell periodic table. And this is the sidewinder of the sun. When you go all the way and you combine it into 26 weeks, this is what the sun looks like as it moves through the sky, through the zodiac signs. Sidereal, tropical, doesn't matter, but I think this should be renamed. I think it should be the Tropic of Sagittarius and the Tropic of Gemini, because the solstices are not ruled by Cancer and Capricorn, not anymore, and they haven't been. I don't know for how long. I don't have the gauge. I haven't gone back that far. But ladies and gentlemen, clearly, okay, right now we're not anywhere near the presence of tropical astrology. We are using, if we're going to be going on fixed stars, we are going to be using the sidereal astrology system. So I encourage you to study both systems. And really take a look at how you look with the planetary positions. But if we're going to, like I said, if we're going to be sticklers about this, if we're going to be finicky about this, if we're going to get this right, the sun during the spring equinox was nowhere near Aries. And just like I said just tonight, the moon is in Leo. It is not in Virgo. So be very leery about using this tropical system, because when you're looking at the presence of these zodiac signs and the celestials, it's not going to be accurate. The planet Pluto is not in the sign of Aquarius. It will not be there until around 2039, 2040. It is in Capricorn right now, and it will be there for many, many years to come. And it's obvious that that's what's going on here. when you start to look at the maps and you do the interpretation. So really, that's what I got, ladies and gentlemen. Really quick and easy. I'm going to do more on this, but I wanted to give you a short rundown since this is what I found in the stars sitting on the beach tonight. Sidereal versus tropical astrology. I hope you got something out of this. My name is Logan, Decode Your Reality. Thanks for watching. Big shout out to all my Patreon members. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you later.